Hey Jim, my name's Brandon Desjardin from Carousel Industries. How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Not too bad. I like the background you got there. Kind of livens up the Zoom call.
Yeah, we had an office birthday today, so we tried to, make her feel special.
Yeah, no, that always has it gives the office a good vibe. So I hope you don't mind. Matt Rosenthal, my IT guy, is going to kind of sit in and listen into our call today to see if he can help and provide any value. Is that all good?
Yeah, no problem. More the merrier.
All
Hey
right,
Jim,
awesome.
pleasure to meet you. I gotta say, I'm a big fan of the color red as well.
Thank you. I love it.
Um, I just want to double check too. Do we still just have 12 minutes for the meeting today?
Yeah, that works for me.
All right, perfect. And do you think there's anyone else that would benefit from sitting in on this meeting?
So right now, I think it's just going to be fine being the three of us. If we were to kind of go through and jump onto whatever you guys are coming with today, I'd either want to have either my CIO Austin involved or maybe even the CEO, but that's nothing that would be right now.
All right, perfect. Yeah, no worries there. So I'll just kind of set an agenda for our meeting today. I'd love to just learn some more about Gold Coast and how you guys have been doing working remotely and how the industry's been faring, and then kind of see if Carousel could provide any value to you guys. And while I'm talking to you and learning more, Matt's going to kind of listen in and see what would be kind of the best possible solution and what fits best with what we have to offer at Carousel. How's that sound?
Yeah, it sounds great.
All right, awesome. Um, my first question I like to ask everyone is just how's the industry changed over the past 6 months due to COVID? And yeah,
I mean, definitely it's been crazy. So, unlike a lot of industries, we've actually been booming pretty much. So, since everybody's kind of been at home, they've had more time with their families. I've seen a real increase in people buying RVs and jet skis and, snowmobiles. So, we've been writing a lot of policies, a lot more than we were this time last year.
that's awesome. I love to hear that. The pandemic has done different things for different companies, so that's awesome.
Yeah, a little
So
silver lining in it.
yeah, so as the HR manager, can you kind of tell me more what you do on a day to day?
Yeah, so basically my role is kind of to oversee the whole entire employee process. So from when they're starting to get hired to all the way up to when I have to eventually fire them. So right now my big focus is more on onboarding, but I'm really there for the whole employee life.
I gotcha. And how are you currently onboarding employees fully remotely? I'm sure it's different than how it used to be.
Yeah, so it's definitely been a little bit crazy. So we've been 50-50 trying to do it between Slack and Skype and then just kind of throwing together any communication platforms we can, but it truly hasn't been going too pretty.
I'm sorry to hear that. I was actually at a local networking event and I met someone from Gold Coast. His name was Jason, and he was telling me as well that he's been having problems using Skype and Slack and just not happy with their limited compatibility and just overall frustration. Have you noticed that as well?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, a lot of people are similar to Jason. So right now, the only kind of way they work together is you can send a Skype invite through the Slack chat, but they don't work together. So people are starting to get frustrated and they're going back to just using their phones and texting. And, I can't even blame them because it is a lot easier.
Yeah, it's frustrating. Have you guys been looking for any possible solutions? How's that search been going?
It's kind of been up in the air. So we definitely know that we need to get a solution. So our contract for Skype is running out, and I definitely know that I don't want to renew that. But it's just kind of been in that information search of I want to be able to find one system. I'm done working on two systems, so I'm just kind of throwing everything out there now.
I don't blame you. Yeah, it would be way easier to just have one system. So, to kind of bounce off that, what's kind of your ideal end state with what you're looking for in a new communication platform?
I mean, at the end of the day, I'm looking for a platform that's easy to use for all my employees. It allows us to have large meetings. I want to be able to have, all my new hire class be able to in one Zoom room or one meeting room just so that we can see what's going on. I also want to be able to have a lot of functionality to be able to have breakout rooms, separate people, kind of be able to use it like we are in the office. And then another thing that's important to me is security. I mean, we've had some problems with people coming into our meetings and it hasn't looked great. So I want to stop that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Security is becoming more and more important as everyone works remotely, so it's understandable. How much time would you say do you spend like using these communication platforms in an average day?
So realistically, before COVID started, we'd use them like maybe an hour or two a week. But Basically now there's somebody on the system from 9 to 5. I mean, even around the clock because there's always meetings, but they're constantly being used. We basically rely on them to run our business now.
I understand. And how much time have you kind of had to spend trying to fix these problems that you've had with the communication platforms, and how is it affecting your business?
It's definitely been a little bit annoying. I don't know if I could put an actual number on it, but it's just little things like 10 minutes because somebody's audio is not working at the beginning of a meeting, or 5 minutes because somebody's Wi-Fi isn't connecting. So in terms of what it does for us, I think it makes us look less credible to the customer. If we're late to a meeting with them, if we can't get our Skype situated, if we can't be there when they need us, it's a waste of their time and it's a waste of our time as well.
Yeah, I want to try to help you fix that, so we can get you up and running, look more professional. So, kind of before we move on and learn more about Carousel, I just kind of want to review. So it looks like you really need a new way to onboard your employees as you're taking on new hire classes with the industry still booming, and a communication platform that can do both messaging and video calls kind of all in one for your employees. Does that sound correct?
Yeah, that definitely sounds like the shitstorm I'm dealing with.
All right, awesome. So now I'm just going to bounce it off to Matt, and he's going to show you some of the great things that Carousel could have to offer based off what we learned today.
Perfect.
All right, hey Jim. So like Brandon said, I'm going to tell you a little bit about here what we are at Carousel. So at Carousel, we manage and integrate technology solutions. We are located in Exeter, Rhode Island, with 27 locations across the United States. We have over 6,000 customers with 35 of the top 100 Fortune companies, and we also were recognized by CRN Magazine as one of the top technology integrators in the United States. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about a product that we have that I think could be a potential solution to GCIB. Does that sound all right with you?
Yeah, it sounds great.
Awesome. Yeah. So a product we have, we like to call WebEx, which is a unified communication platform. As you mentioned, you've been having trouble toggling between two different platforms, Skype and Slack, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so with WebEx, like I said, it's a unified communication platform, meaning you would only have to use that specific platform. You wouldn't have to use multiple ones. You could stay on that and get everything you need done with that. It's also very easy to use. WebEx offers training videos for employees so it can ease the transition into using the platform. Does that sound something that could benefit GCIB?
Yeah, it definitely sounds like it's got the tools to get my employees ready to use it.
That's great to hear. In terms of security, I know you mentioned there were some breaches. With WebEx, we have enhanced security. WebEx has, like I said, enhanced security. So WebEx is able to have encryption from end to end, meaning that any files, documents that or messages that are said within video conferences in WebEx will be secure. It will be safe. We can assure that. And then in terms of onboarding, you mentioned how you wanted to have meetings that you would be able to have all the trainees in. Well, WebEx has various options. We have WebEx meetings, which allow a capacity of 200 people. But then if you want to take it up a notch and maybe expand the horizon, we have WebEx events, which allows you to have over 3,000 participants. So everything I'm saying here, does this sound like something that GCIB could maybe want to move along with?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely sounds like it could solve a lot of our problems. I guess my big concern is just it sounds really expensive at the end of the day.
Of course. So are you more concerned with the quality of the product or more the cost?
I mean, I guess it's more like the long-term value instead of that initial price tag. Because I mean, we're making money now. It's just how are we going to really see the value?
Yeah, of course. I think we like to look at it as the approach as if you were to go on with the way that you're going with Skype and Slack, you would most likely be spending more money over the long run trying to figure out that long-term plan. Whereas if you were to purchase WebEx, we can assure you that with the purchase, it may be a upfront cost, but in the long run, it'll benefit because you won't have to toggle back and forth between different platforms trying to figure out one to use. You will have the set one that you can go with the long run with.
Oh yeah, that definitely makes sense.
And to kind of jump in off that, we also want to just make your job easier as an HR manager on the day-to-day with onboarding new employees and such. The WebEx training that we have is a one of a kind and awesome. So you don't have to worry about training all the employees on your own. We're going to help you with that. And we have multiple different breakout rooms and such that just kind of break things down, and not everything's put on your shoulders.
No, that definitely sounds like something that could really help us. I'd love to tell Austin about it.
Awesome. Yeah, we would love to move forward if you'd want to set up a future meeting with Austin. We could maybe even get a demo going to show you what WebEx can do in action.
Yeah, that sounds great.
All right. How about does Friday work for you?
Yeah, I'm free in the morning pretty much all day.
All right. Let's do bright and early 8 a.m. on Friday.
Perfect. That works for me, and I'll make sure I have Austin queued up for it as well.
All right. We're excited. We'll talk to you Friday.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thank you for having us.